Okay, I'm gonna show you how to make the most delicious, simple pumpkin pie recipe ever. Like, your children could make this pie, or of course an adult could whip this thing up quick if you have to go to a party somewhere and you want to bring a nice little sweet treat that everybody's gonna love. You could make two. You can just double the recipe, make two. If it's a big party, whoops, you can just make one. It is just fabulous. It's a recipe that is a keeper that you will jot down and make it over and over again. And I love it also because it's a fall recipe, and I love seasonal eating. Like, I look forward to fall because there's the squashes, you know, pumpkin pie and different foods that are ready in the fall. So I just love to go season by season and then make the special stuff. Pumpkin pie is one of them. Who doesn't love pumpkin pie? It's fabulous. So you're really gonna love this easy recipe. What we're gonna do is, I don't even try to go in order or anything. I just put everything in a bowl, mix it up, pour it in the crust, bake it. Simple. You do have to know the amounts of everything though. So you have cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves if you like cloves. I use canned milk, 3 eggs, 1 can of pumpkin, and some sugar. Simple. All right, I start by putting 3 eggs in the bowl. The reason you have to start with the eggs in the bowl first is because you want to slightly beat those eggs up. All right, so you have the 3 eggs in the bowl, and here's my magic mixer that I love. Isn't that a weird looking thing? It is weird looking, but it works so good. Okay, so I'm just gonna mix these up. Look how good it works. If you wanna buy this thing, the link is in the description. Alrighty, so you put that in there first, and then you can just go ahead. I need a spoon right here. Put the can of pumpkin in. You know, pumpkin pie is like a staple. You know, it's like apple pie. There's just a few that are just, you know, everybody likes them. And okay, sugar, a 1/2 cup of sugar. I do not put a ton of sugar into my pumpkin pies. One thing that is a turnoff to me, even though I love pumpkin pie, is when I take a bite of a pumpkin pie and it is so sugary sweet, all you taste is the sugar. I don't like that, so I only use a 1/2 cup. I just use this canned milk because I don't keep milk in the house except for this canned milk. And the rest of this I'll use in my coffee when I have a cup of coffee. Since I need a cup of milk and I'm using evaporated milk, I'm gonna put 1/2 a cup of evaporated milk, and then the rest is water. 1 cup of milk. All right, so you dump that in there. I don't know if you can see in the bowl, it's just all in there. It's just, what gives your pumpkin pie a nice flavor is a little bit of cinnamon. I love cinnamon, so I do a teaspoon of cinnamon. Boop. And then some people like clove. Clove is very strong, so if you're gonna put a little bit of clove in there, you want just a teeny little sprinkle. But the holes are big, so you want to be very careful with the clove. In fact, just put it in a spoon. It even smells really strong. I'm only going to do a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. And I'm going to shake that off. Now, since the pumpkin's rather bland, be careful with your spices, because if you overspice it, it's going to be like a strong pumpkin pie. Now, all you have to do is mix this all up. So watch my supersonic mixer. It's gonna mix it up so easy, and you just go in a circle with this mixer. You don't have to like that way with a whisk where you're like, which is kind of hard to mix things up with a whisk. This thing, you just go in a circle, kind of fast, back and forth a little, and it just mixes it up really good. It's so handy because you don't have to have like one of those mixers, you know, in your kitchen taking up space. I'd rather have pots and pans and then just this little mixer. Okay, so I would say this is done. Now you just have to pour it in the pie crust and put it in the oven. What you can do if you don't want to make your own crust, which is a lot of work, you can just buy a pre-made crust. I always look for something when I buy pre-made, as long as it doesn't have hydrogenated oil in it or soybean oil, I can go with it. I can live with it, because obviously I don't eat pumpkin pie too often, but you know, when you want it or when you have to make it for somebody, it's fine. Another thing though, and this is how I normally make it for myself, I don't have any crust. I will just take this mixture and get one of my pie plates, spray it with spray, cooking oil spray, and then I just dump it in there and bake it the same exact way as if it was in a crust. And it is so funny because I must say I've had people over for lunch and I serve it to them without the crust, and I still put the whipped cream on it, and after we all eat, I'll just say that, like, oh, did you like it? And they're like, oh, we loved it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it didn't even have a crust. And they have literally said, I didn't even notice. So if you want to cut some calories or you're gluten-free, you can just go ahead and do it that way with no crust at all. But for today, I have a crust. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour the pie in the crust. Preheat the oven to 450 because you're going to pour this in here. Let me pour it in here. Then what you do is you bake it on 450 for 10 minutes. I don't know why they do that for pumpkin pie. Just to quick and get it up to heat, I guess. I don't know why. And then you turn it down to 350 and you bake it for 40 to 45 minutes. So it does take a little bit of time to make a pumpkin pie, to bake it. But I mean, whatever. You can throw it in the oven and go do something else. Just make sure you set a timer so you don't burn it. Which that's what I for sure do if I don't set a timer. Every time. I don't know why. Every time. I have to set a timer. Gotta be careful though, because it's right to the tippity top, and if you bend the little pie plate, it'll run out and spill. Nice and easy. Okay, I'm gonna set my timer for 10 minutes. Then I'm gonna lower it down to 350 and I'm gonna bake it for 45 minutes. All right, here you go. It's all finished. When you take it out of the oven, let it cool down to room temperature and then put it in the fridge to chill. And when it's ready to go, you can add your whipped cream on top. It's a super easy recipe and so delicious. I hope you give it a try. Please click the like button. It really does help me so much. And also a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters. You really help this to be possible for me to shoot videos. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters. Thanks for watching. Happy homesteading. Bye-bye.